Hey everyone, in this video we'll be featuring Tier 9 Chinese heavy tank BZ-68. It is a Tech 3 tank and the only Tier 9 to feature the rocket booster mechanic. It carries 5 rocket boosters, one better than the Tier 8. So let's get started with the setup that I'm using the same crew as the Tier 8. So skills are the same: 1 meter rapid loading steady aim, snapshot, 6 sense, situational awareness, armor angling, track mechanic, and run and gun. Equipment, going with the similar equipment as the Tier 8, loader, stabilizer, but switch the advanced reloader to advanced optics, as I felt I was getting outspotted continuously and getting shot at. Going with 3 large consumables: medkit, repair kit, and enhanced rations. Let's take a look at the armor model of this tank. So the turret is pretty solid. We're going to bounce standard shells all day and can even bounce some premium shots depending on where they're shooting. Gun lead is decent. The turret cheeks are decent. They're angled backwards. Again, not immune to the TD guns, but still solid enough for Tier 9. However, the upper hull, not so much. Only turret is where your armor capability ends, as the turret upper plate. However, the lower plate is only 125, but it's too tall, so you can easily get penned. Sides, they're 130. That's okay. The problem with upper plate is 120, not that the reliable. The heat just pens very easily. Does have 110 side armor compared to the Tier 8 where it has 100. However, this tank has this, as you can see, the slide shoulders. So when your side scraping, this get exposed and you will get penned easily. The sides have additional 30 mm of side skirts and space armor that can help provide some additional protection. Looking at the module viewer, the engines at the back, fuel tank up front, ammo rack in the middle, and the rear turret, same as the Tier 8. And then the crew is similar as well, 1 driver and 3 in turret. So let's look at the stats. This is, of course, after the crew I'm using. Forward speed of 30. The entire line offers the forward speed of 30 and power to weight of 12.83. This is with upgraded package. 4 seconds of rocket booster cooldown, as well as you get 5 rocket booster count, and each lasts for 10 seconds. This is the same. Hit points 1900. I would say average for Tier 9 heavy tanks. I'm using optics, and the Burin is 486 with the optics. And as I felt, that's why it's a little low, I would say. The kept getting outspotted. The thing about this tank is it's the 8-degree gun depression. It is not 10 like the Tier 8 version, and you have 8 up front, but when you go over lights, your gun depression reduces to 4.5. So you don't see it. So these lights here, you don't see it in the armor viewer, but there are these 2 headlights on the right and left. Whenever your gun go over them, you'll lose gun depression. So do have to keep that in mind. It is pretty annoying, and most of the time you will be peaking an angle, and it's really frustrating, that limitation. A decent reload, 11.3. It is essentially Polish or 50 TP, the Polish Tier 9, very similar tank, slightly lower alpha, but better DPM by 250 base. In addition, the top speed of Polish tank is 35. However, this tank offers rocket boosters, so slightly faster when you're using boosters. Otherwise, the Polish heavy is faster. So very similar play style. If you have played one, you'll know. But of course, this tank has premium heat, whereas as Polish has premium EPCR, so that makes the gun slightly better. The accuracy I have it down to 0.34 and DPM 2814 with equipment and skills. Standard penetration 248, premium heat 315, and 530 alpha. Shell velocity is average 1050 for AP, 930 for heat. So overall an okay tank. For this kind of alpha, that's the DPM you expect. You just have to play hull down, use that turret armor, and then the alpha to win trades. Don't get caught out in the open. You do get penned very easily in the lower plates, especially. Even the tier 8s can easily pen you. Let's see how this tank actually performs in game. So it's a tier 10 battle. I'm in No Man Hand. It's a pretty big map, 1200 by 1200, so booster does come in handy. You just have to time it right. It has limited boosters, so I try to use 2 to get into position. Using my first booster, it's a flat ground, can hit 45. I even tried running a traction system when I was stock, but for me, I was just getting punished too much due to lack of vision, so I just put our optics back on. And so once I got an upgraded engine and tracks, the mobility was tolerable as well. So it is the alt spawns and team destruction game mode. They're light tank pushing under the hill. Try to put a rock between me and them so I don't get spotted. And also using the second boosters so that when I do spot someone that is sniping on these hills, our team can punish them. Going towards the left side so I'm safe from light tanks. Ended up ramming the rock. That's the thing you have to avoid while using boosters, right? The last thing you would want is you're trying to get into position, but you end up hitting a rock, losing all your speed, and wasting that precious 10-second boost. I7 got greedy. He thought he could push the tier 9 BZ-68. That's a mistake, you know. Mistakes were made by him. And even though I can't pen him, my teammates can. In addition, we do have artillery as well. He realized that, gave me a side turret, decent pen to his roof. And some more damage. He's down to 1 shot. It's a good spot where I came in, as long as we have the B line covered. Since I was in platoon, so I know that line was secured. And decided to play more aggressive over here. And also, since I have the optics, I could use that to my advantage. And you'll notice here, this is where that awkward 4.5 degrees of gun depression impacts. Even the 8 coming down from tier 8 to tier 9, like you lose 2 degrees of gun depression to begin with, so that's a little bit awkward. And then, yeah, as you can see, I'm trying to get my gun down. I couldn't, like, overpeaked here. It's a terrible peak. I got lucky that I didn't lose more HP considering how long I was out there. And yeah, that's a problem. I should have been not using this spot, as you have to make sure your gun is straight if you want to use that 8 degrees of gun depression. So now switching to the right ridge, this ridge requires less gun depression. And I can spot them, get some assist already at 1900. Side on shot into the MBTB. Just farming at this point, whoever is spotted. And the good thing is no one's really paying attention to me. They're all focused at B7 or the light tank. And since I'm spotting them, getting assist as well. 2400 assist and 3 shots of damage so far. A nice track into T100 LT. I have heat. It's okay shell velocity. It's not as slow as some of the other tanks that have high caliber guns. So once you kind of realize which shell you have to use, you can just use that. And I kind of figured it out that advanced reloader was kind of redundant, just because the shell velocity difference isn't that huge, and because you're heavy, right? You're not going to be sniping most of the time, and didn't really lose anything. Side of BKB, she's donating HP. Paid actors are always welcome, as well as some additional assist, 3k damage and 3k assist. And just playing a position, as you can see, whenever I'm peeking, I'm just not really peeking at an angle, just making sure I can fully utilize that 8 degrees of gun depression. Waffle gets spotted and instantaneously deleted, winning 14-5. And when you're riding the tank, like when it's stock, the mobility is frustrating, but once you're fully upgraded, as I mentioned, it is okay. It's just the top speed that's the issue. Additional thing that I have kind of done, which is fun, if you're in a platoon, you can kind of limit the usage of boosters by like get behind your platoon when you use the first couple times, and then he can use the remaining of the times. Just rotating around to the other side, as I didn't really had any shots, and there was a TD. E4 is down to 1 shot. Another heavy tank is also pushing, and I do have 3 boosters available. Just closing in, waiting for the tank destroyer to fire. Will's full health. Valor trying to get a shot in. However, he took 1 in return. He did finish E4, and I activated the booster, but I was stationary. As you know, if you're stationary and activate the booster, your tank doesn't automatically go up. You have to be going forward. My plan was to ram the grill, but unfortunately, because of the delay of movement, I couldn't. That's another thing you can do, right? Like there's a light tank or something in front of you, you just activate booster, you can ram them for a decent amount of damage. This was of course an epic fail. Using it again to quickly get to a position to shoot the remaining tanks. 4,300 assist and 4,000 damage. There's a MBTB not really paying attention. Nice shot into his lower plate. Waiting for it to reload, and artillery gets spotted, providing me his side. Nice of artillery for donation as well, bringing me closer to 5,000 damage and 4,300 assist. And he lost spot, but I know where he was. So another shot into artillery, and I ended up with a decent game. So yeah, I think it's an okay tank. Not the greatest, I would say, but yeah, the only tank at tier 9 that is rocket booster. So do let me in comments if you have the tank or if you're looking forward to it. That's it for today. Also, as mentioned in previous videos, I've started a community clan in preparation of a regiment. So if you're not in a clan yet or just looking for a change, make sure to check it out low-key, as well as Discord link in description. It is open to all. Only rule is to be respectable. So that's it for now. I'll catch you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day.